Hello, welcome to Kelly Loves K-Pop. I'm Kelly. I do tarot readings on Korean celebrities, idols, all that good stuff. Today we're doing Shinee. We're doing personality readings. So I'm going to do all 4 members. And I'm going to use my Caroline Miss archetype cards, which are pretty much my go-to. I will read what these cards say, but then I will jump off and follow what my intuition says. So usually you'll hear me read the little description. You'll see like they have like a little descriptions here, but then you'll hear me just start going off on my own. So don't worry about that. Also, all my readings are alleged for entertainment purposes only. Please take them with a grain of salt. You know, this is just for fun. Let's go ahead and get these cards shuffled. I'm gonna do Ki, then Minho, Onyu, and Taemin. So I've done quite a few readings on Taemin, but I don't think I've done a personality reading on him yet, so that'll be interesting. I'll have a playlist at the end that'll have like all my Taemin Taemin readings. And I'll just shuffle. Ki.
How are you? Who are you actually? This is a personality reading.
That, I think, the fact that that's the first card, of course it is. Of course it is. I've seen his ending fairy jokes. I see you, Ki. Okay. All right. So we have Trickster. Says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Yeah, he hates the status quo. He rails against the status quo, but in a witty, fun, you know, inclusionary way. Yeah, like him coming up as a trickster, I know no one is surprised. No one. So yeah, he likes to pick fun at things he knows are like archaic and old and need to change. Then he has Liberator in the shadow, though, is imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So that's like, I do think, as much as he is a trickster and he has a fun way, like, I hope I'm, you know, it's in a loving way when I say I think he has a little bit of an ego, a little bit of like this strong self-assurity that he's kind of always in the right. He may not be good at taking criticism when he is the one in the wrong, because he's probably used to being right a lot. I think he probably is wrong on a very rare occasion, but when he is, I feel like he doesn't really want to hear it. So that may be something he needs to be careful of. Then we have Wounded Child in the light, which is awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. You know, we see them here with their little blanket of inclusion. Yeah, so I think he does have a tendency to be there for people, especially people he feels are kind of treated unfairly. I think he loves an underdog. I think he likes to try to help people that again he feels have been kind of treated unfairly. You know, just ones he knows, the ones he knows really need it. He's probably not the type to really hand out charity too often. You do have to probably be a special case for him. But he does have a heart. He just doesn't like everyone. That's the best way to put it, is like, you kind of also have to be a special person, but if you do fit the requirements, he's a good friend to those people. Storyteller in the shadow is making up tales that harm others. So this could be, again, I hate to say, like, not really afraid to lie, you know, to people. Again, like I said, I think there's a lot of people he doesn't like, and if he doesn't care what you think, he may just lie to your face for the sake of not having to deal with them. Kind of like, you know, I get a very, like, I don't care what they think, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with the fallout of them hearing my true opinion. Like, I feel like, you know, he's a complicated person, and he doesn't get along with a lot of people, but he also doesn't want to fight with everyone. So it could very much be like a you know, in a lot of self-defense for himself, so he just doesn't have to deal with stupid people. Or at least that's kind of like the vibe I get, is that he views a lot of people as kind of, but I don't, like, again, I don't think he's like any kind of like bad person. I just don't think he has the patience for people that need explaining to, if that makes more sense. If he has to explain it to you, I think he'd rather just not deal with you. You know what I mean? So, student in light attribute is humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Again, yeah, I think he's a really smart, intellectual person. He probably does read a lot of books or spend a lot of time, you know, researching things that are interesting to him. Again, I think he's smart. He knows he's smart. I don't think he views anything beyond his level of learning. Well, I mean, maybe like neuroscience or something, but even then, maybe not. I think he's just like, if he's interested, he's gonna look it up. He's not intimidated. How about that? He's not intimidated by any field of study. And then we have saboteur in the shadow, which is induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. I don't think he is self-destructive. Again, I do think he has an agenda to shake things up. But in his own way, right? Like, he's not afraid to, well, I mean, even in a playful way, like the undermining of others, like, he's not afraid to call out behavior he doesn't agree with. Even, you know, if it's something as simple as, like, you know, breathing hard and chest heaving after a performance, even though all of them know it's fake, you know, like to sit there and call it out, not caring who might get their feelings hurt, because like we know everyone does that. So yeah, I think it's like he'll undermine others. He probably says a lot of stuff about SM that they wish he wouldn't. Like, there's a lot of people I think he will expose and talk about, and like if he ever leaves the idol realm, they better be really, really careful that he has NDAs, because otherwise he's gonna sell some books. He will sell some books. So that's what I have for Key. Again, I think he just has to be careful. Like, he's good-natured, good-hearted. He likes to shake things up and not be stuck to norms, but he can get a little like easily frustrated with people and show that as well. And sometimes that's not always the best approach. So we'll go ahead and go on to Minho now. The nation's it boy. He's back now, so like every sports show better watch out. I do want to see him and like 2PM members have like rematches from like the old days, because that would just be hilarious now. I still think Minho would beat the crap out of him. And I say this as a hottest. I absolutely love 2PM, but like Shinee and 2PM rivalry in like, God, what were those shows called? I can't even remember now, but Minho would like wipe the floor with everybody. All right. Shuffle these up a little bit more. Interesting. See, hermit in the shadow is withdraws from society out of fear and negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. This is really interesting. Yeah, I think I get this in reverse because I don't think he does it out of like personal creative outlets, but I do think he's a private person. I just think he's kind of not interested in his personal life, or even more of his, interests and stuff being too public. I think he really enjoys performing and music and dancing and acting and all that. But I just think when it comes to his personal life, I don't think he's really interested in sharing that. I just think he's like, private life is private. Like, that's just really what I get from that card. Exorcist in Light is freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So this is about, just really kind of being there when people need you, but also like being that brutally honest friend. Like, if you need even saving from yourself, he may not be as like blunt as like someone like Key, but he would be the one that would find a really clear but kind way to tell you your behaviors are, hurting yourself and others. Like, dad energy, right? Like, dad friend energy. So just like, he probably minds his own business. He probably stays out of a lot of people's business unless he feels like you're being messy or you're being too much and you need someone to tell you when to calm down. And he's not afraid to be that person. He's actually really good at it. He's really diplomatic in that way. He's a really like thoughtful person with his words. And then we have Prince in the Shadow, which is using power for self-aggrandizement. Yeah, I do think he wants to appear perfect to the public. Again, when I say his private life remaining very private, and I think he's a thoughtful person. So I think when he presents himself to the public, it's very rehearsed, very pre-thought out. Like, you're getting his persona, and that's intentional, but he does want that persona to be as talented, as nice, funny, charming, idol as possible. Like, you're gonna get your money's worth out of him, but it's a show, and he's there to entertain you. You're not getting all of him, right? You're getting, this is work, and you're getting that aspect of him, and it's a very manicured, well thought out persona for your entertainment. So I think that's kind of like self-aggrandizement, and like, he's gonna do everything he can to be like this best idol, and that's the only side he's really interested in showing people. Almost like a perfectionist kind of energy there, but aggrandizement. And he likes to it's not bluff, because I mean he wants to live up to it, but it's like, it is self-aggrandizement. I mean, that's the word. It's like he's not afraid to kind of, paint himself in this really flattering light all the time, right? So then we have Advocate in the Shadow, which is embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. He may have to be careful. I feel like this is specifically about money investment, financial investment. I don't know if he plays stocks or that kind of thing, but he may have to be careful in the type of places where he's putting that money. They may not always be good. Well, no big companies are really good. So let me, but he may have to just be careful that, the companies or the investments he's making, those are as thoughtful as the rest of the things that he does, because this is just like, he could be doing it on impulse without like thinking it through. Because he's just looking to, he's using this just to make money. He's not thinking about who that money's going to almost, or where it's coming from. So I don't want him to make any bad decisions that could come back to hurt him in that aspect. It's kind of like, trusting other people with his money he shouldn't be trusting in a way. We have Healer in the Light, which is passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Again, this pairs well with this Exorcist card. He looks out for people. And like I said, he's kind of quiet until he feels like it's reached a level that he has to step in. But he is that person you can trust to actually have your best interests at heart. Like, he would never do it unless he felt like he really needed to, like, save you from terrible decisions or like embarrassing yourself. So yeah, he like I said, this is like that dad friend energy. When you need someone, he'll help you. He's I feel like he's got a down to earth energy too. Like, you need a friend that's gonna help you, like, move your house, move your couch for beer and pizza. Like, he's that guy. Like, I don't think he's trying to let, in his personal life, and I think it's partially probably why he likes to separate, so he can keep some level of normalcy there, to keep those bonds with other people also, like, tight without feeling like he has to hide everything. If people, know not, to leave him alone in his personal time, then he doesn't have to feel so guarded. I know that kind of sounds backwards, but it's like, if they don't know who his friends are, then he doesn't have to protect those people as much, as closely, right? So Queen in Shadow becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. Again, I feel like he has a long fuse, but when you reach it, watch out. What did I say? I looked up everybody's. Yeah, he's a Sagittarius sun, so that's still a fire sign, right? Like, that temper will come out. He is a very probably well-adjusted individual that isn't quick to anger, but when it's there, he probably is very scary. So just people in his life probably need to be mindful of that. Like, just, he's not the one. He is that quote that if you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. Like, I fear for the person that and anybody in Shinee, honestly, I fear for the people that piss them off. Anybody in this group, that they're not the ones. They're not it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do it. So that's what I have for Minho. We're gonna do Onyu next. Let's see, Onyu. He's probably one of the members I know the least about. I know he's a good singer. I know he does some, like, theater acting. That's it. Like I said, I'm a hottest. I'm hottest and I'm on Bebe, but my old loves are hot, or 2PM, and they debuted the same year as Shinee. I've seen Shinee since debut. Like, whether I wanted to know about them or not, they were around. Luckily, I loved Shinee. Like, I think their music is great, but I don't watch their TV shows that much unless they were on a show with other groups, and they did it quite a bit with 2PM back in the day, so I got to see a lot of Shinee then, but not too much. Not too much, especially in the last couple of years, but I know that's because of military enlistments and all that kind of stuff, so, among other things. So, Onyu. Anyway, so we got King in the Light, which is enlightened, benevolent leadership benefiting those in your charge. He is the leader, right? I'm pretty sure Onu is the leader of the group, right? So yeah, he's good. He does have the group's like a best interest at heart, and he probably also puts that into his everyday life too. Most of the people, if he feels like he's, they need someone to help push them along forward. He, like I said, this mentor in the upright as well means he likes to advise people. He likes to be in charge of projects. It's a skill he feels resonates with him. And, this is also about passing on wisdom, refining a student's character. So, yeah, King, mentor, he is, interested in being a leader and here to help. If he's in charge of it, he's there to help. These two, though, not really what I wanted to show up. Okay, so we have prostitute in the shadow, and it's not what you think. This is the wording on this one. I probably should rewrite this card with a different title. This deck does give me extras, but it's about places material considerations and security above self-empowerment, which means he puts money above himself. He definitely has a high value, or he has a high regard for just money. Like, he definitely wants to be, or at least admires rich people, and would definitely be interested in a very financially successful life. I mean, I know we all would, but I think he wants to like really be in that upper echelon. And sometimes that can kind of get you into trouble if you're not, if your morals aren't rock solid, right? Like, because honestly, if you're listening to rich people and you're trying to become a member of that, group, well, we'll just say I don't always trust rich people to have a good moral compass. I don't, so I would just be concerned for him to make sure he's aligning himself with good people, because I think he cares about status a lot. So then we have like Midas / Miser. So Midas in the light is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight in sharing life's riches. Again, he's about his money. He's really about money. But he knows, apparently he's good at it. Apparently he's really good at business decisions and figuring out how to make money. So I don't know if he's got businesses outside of his idoldom, but sounds like if he doesn't now, he will. He will in the future. So then we have Don Juan in the shadow, using power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Obviously we have this dancing couple. What's the best way to say this? I just worry that I'll just say it, and I apologize if I offend anyone, but I worry he may be a little predatory on people who like him. Like, he knows he has a reputation. People know who he is. He knows he's a celebrity, and he knows what comes with that when it comes to admirers. And I just worry that, again, I need to make sure his moral compass is where it should be. Because I worry he might use people a little bit. I'm sorry. That's just the card I got. I'm not here. I knew when they came up, I was not going to have a good time explaining those. So again, we all learn and grow as, you know, with time. We become totally different people, you know, sometimes in just a few years. So this is just where he's at right now. Hopefully in the future he will learn, grow, evolve, change, as we all do. So that, like, this is just what I see right now. Okay. And then we have the last one is Rebel in the Shadow, which is rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So I'm actually surprised I didn't get Rebel in the light for Key, to be honest. But this is about being into social justice because it's a popular thing to do. Right? Like, or kind of like being edgy because it's in vogue. You know, or he's doing it because that's what the people around him are telling him to do, not because he necessarily like believes in it. Again, like the way he kind of admires people with money, I think he likes an older way of thinking. I do feel like he kind of, I don't say he's the opposite of Key, because he's still young enough that I don't think he wants to revert to that kind of old fashioned, but I do think, we'll say, I don't think he's got a problem with male privilege, with pretty privilege, with celebrity privilege. Like, I think he's just fine with all of that. So, because again, I think he does really care about status. But I think when it comes to his group, when it comes to his job, like, he takes it seriously. He really takes it seriously. It's just he may be a little opportunistic in other areas of his life. So he just needs to be careful of that. But yeah, when it comes to money, like, I don't think he'll have to worry about it. He seems to be very, very good with business. So there's pros, there's cons, like with everyone. So just, I know this will probably upset some people, and I'm sorry, but I'm just reading the cards. So we'll do the last reading now, and that will be Timon. Timon. Said I probably know the most about Timon just because I've done more readings on him than any of the other guys, due to his solo work and Super M stuff and all that good stuff. So we'll see. I might have more to say about him just because of that. Okay. Okay. All right. Athlete in the light. His dedication to transcending physical limits includes handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of the spirit. So, you just can't keep that guy down. Like, he seems like he's a fighter. If he wants to do something, he's gonna fight. Whether it be physical, mental, whatever it is, he doesn't give up. Timon does not give up. And then we have Guide in the Shadow, which is places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. Again, he's another one I think is, you know, into his money. He's really into making money. You know, he may not be the most... This, to me, the card really speaks out about, like, probably putting work over spiritual fulfillment, like financial and material fulfillment over spiritual fulfillment, really. So he may not be too much into his spiritual connection. he's got plenty of time for that. He can work on that whenever he wants to. So, but right now I think he's like, I'm working, I'm trying to, you know, get my my career figured out. That seems to be what is most important to him right now. Mediator in the light is gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. So yeah, he might have a bit of an empathic ability. He's good at negotiating when it comes to a lot of things. He's diplomatic with people, basically. He puts himself in kind of like everyone's shoes, which means he's probably more objective. Like, he doesn't try to put his emotions into negotiations and things like that. He knows how to kind of probably keep a lot of his emotions out of those things. So that, and like I said, he just doesn't give up. So I think to keep that kind of momentum, you have to like have your emotions in check. Never me. I'm an emotional person, so Timon, teach me how, please. So we have a shadow attribute for gambler. This is relying on luck rather than hard work, which is really interesting. I feel like this is more about believing in destiny than not working hard, especially with his cards. But yeah, I feel like he may not feel like he has to work that hard to get where he wants to be, because he probably feels like he's exactly where he was meant to be. You know, like I feel like he knows he's worked his, you know, he's all the way up the ladder. He has a great group that's well loved. He's in one of the biggest companies, and he has a solo career on top of all of that. So I think he does feel like he's doing exactly what he was destined to do, and he doesn't have to like work hard as in like learning a bunch of other skills. Like he already has focused on what he needed to do. And he's been in this since he was so young. Like so young. And that could be an aspect to it too, where it's like he doesn't know anything else. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. So I think it's more like he's not gonna like work hard to get into something else. He's where he is, and he's gonna continue on this path. You know, this guy here is blindly following this path. He's going to follow it all the way through. So yeah, I think this is more about destiny, like feeling destined, and not like he has to have all these extra other skills. He's been a singer and dancer performer since he was like 10. You know, I don't know how early he joined the company, but I know he debuted really, really young. So he had to have joined the company like literally as a child, or start his training even before he joined a company, like as a child. Like, this is what he knows. So that's more what I get with the spread with this in particular card. But the wording on that is kind of funky. So we have God in shadow, which is despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. So this is like playing God in a way. Which is, again, he's got such a duality to him, right? Because it's like, he's a fighter, he doesn't give up, but he doesn't want to do anything else. He's a mediator. He's not like personally invested in a lot of these arguments or, you know, negotiations. So it's easy for him to like not take sides, but it's at the same time, it's like almost, if you're not going the same way as him, like, you're of no use to him. Like, I don't think he's, well, you know, he could be cruel with words, but more so I think he's cruel with a lack of like caring about people outside of his like, I think he can snub people a lot. Like, they're not benefiting me in any way. They just want to be my friend. I don't have a use for them. I feel like he probably doesn't have a lot of friends outside of the company. For allegedly for entertainment purposes only, it feels like he probably doesn't have friends. Like, he probably isn't the person that has friends. Like, he has work friends because he works, and like, that's it. I feel like that's it. So he can probably come off cruel and cold. I feel like cold more than anything. I don't think he's out there trying to hurt other people anyway, but I do think he's probably like stoic and unapproachable to a lot of people, and that can come off like he thinks he's better than them, and he might, but not so much as some of the other people. I just think he's like, why am I going to go out of my way to make friends with you? What do you possibly have in common with me? Like, that is really the energy I'm getting. Like, again, he's been in this for so long. Like, he's probably just seen also so many people, fake people come and go, or people that hurt other people that he cared about. So he just, maybe there's a part of him that just also doesn't trust people. And then we have femme fatale in the shadow, which is inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. So like, I feel like he also has this love of status. I think he definitely wants to be like a legendary like icon. Like, I don't think he cares so much in like again, businesses outside of like being an idol, but when it comes to being a performer, like, it's very Michael Jackson. It's very like, I'm the best. I want everybody to know I'm the best. I'm gonna be the best. I'm not gonna stop till everyone knows I'm the best. So maybe it's more power than money, but money is also, you know, you don't get there without money. So there's some of that. Like, there's an ego here. There's a definite ego. Not that it's not deserved, because like, again, he's been working so hard since he was like a child, but again, like, there's definite parallels to someone like Michael Jackson, to you know, like that legendary status kind of artist who put being the best above everything else. Like, there is no plan B. This is it. This is it for him. So I just think that hyper focus can be dangerous to him, because it's going to alienate people out of his life too. And he doesn't necessarily know how to appreciate just having a large circle of friends, because either he doesn't see the benefit, or that he doesn't trust them. Like, there's a lot of that energy here. So I just think Temin needs to be careful. Be careful. No man is an island. You know, and I know he has Shinee, and I know he loves those guys, but it wouldn't hurt him to open up his heart maybe a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I have. Let's see, this is already 42-minute long video, and when I edit it'll probably be about 35 to 40 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here. Thank you for your request for Shinee's personality readings. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any more requests, you can leave them in the comment section. I do write down everyone's request. I have a list. I have the link to the Tumblr list in the description of this video, where you can see how far down in the queue you are. The list is very long. So I do have a Ko-fi page where I take donations. If you make a request with your donation, you will actually get bumped to the front of the list. Basically, like, paid requests get priority. So if you don't feel like waiting for like 165-ish readings to be done before yours, you can pay my Ko-fi page, and I will do the reading the next time I record. So like, if you did it today, you'd get your reading by next week when I can record again. And it would be one of the first videos I, you know, edit and put up. So if you're interested in something like that, it is greatly appreciated. Please make sure you subscribe for more content like this video if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, and take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys again soon. Okay, bye.